G'day folks, it's Phil from 15 Minute Guitar Practice here. You know, sometimes you find a performance on YouTube that's so incredible, so mind-blowingly good, that you are just left baffled by the intensity and the endless creativity of the performer. I have found this one particular video of this one particular artist, and it's 10 years old, but it blows me away. Absolutely floors me every single time. And that performance is by the amazing Matt Schofield. And this performance is not a big gig at all. You know, it's not a festival, it's not a big crowd. It's not even in a place which is super famous. And in fact, even the PA that Matt is singing through in this performance isn't quite powerful enough to have a crystal clear vocal. At least that's how it comes across. This performance is from 10 years ago at the Mixed Grill in Oakville, Ontario. And it is just the most amazing performance of Black Cat Bone I have ever seen. Now, Matt's played Black Cat Bone in many places many times, but it's this one for me that is absolutely stunning. And I decided I would tab out the solo, and I've tabbed 24 bars of it for you. It's just absolutely epic. But the actual solo, I counted it, goes on for a massive 72 bars. And it's not repetitive, and it's never boring, and he always pulls something else out of the hat. So Matt Schofield is just one of my favourite dudes to play the blues. So let's just take a look at what he's doing. But first, I want to just note a couple of things about Matt's playing in this particular instance. Number one, although he's a blues player, these first 24 bars don't really contain many bends, which obviously is a very typical motif and technique used in the blues. The other thing is his phrasing is great. He's using notes not just in the major pentatonic and the minor pentatonic, but also in the major scale, as kind of passing notes and things you don't dwell on for too long, but they kind of link to other things. His tone is great. He's using, I think, the middle pickup. He's using a Strat, the middle pickup on a Strat. He's got a little bit of slightly longer than slapback delay and a little bit of reverb. The rest is all in the fingers. So let's take a look. Okay, the solo starts off with a pickup phrase that begins on the fourth beat of the previous bar. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and the notes are 11th fret B, 8th fret on the G, with a little kind of pull bend there, and then hitting the D string at the 10th fret. Then you either slide down to the 7th fret, or you could pull off. I guess I kind of naturally want to slide that. Okay, so that's our first phrase. And actually this note on the D string, that's actually R1. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. The next phrase is this little death piece. Okay, so that starts here. Starts here on the 8th fret of the G string, and then the 11th fret of the B, then the 10th fret, 10th fret of the G, 8th fret of the B string, then the 8th fret of the G string, and a little bend there too. Now, there's a lot of playing parallel strings in this solo, so you've got to get used to kind of moving from, you know, the same fret on a different string. That is the first instance of that occurring. Okay, then we hit the 10th fret on the G string, 10th fret on the D string. Here we are, another pair of parallel notes on the same fret. Then the 8th fret of the G, bit more of a bend there, maybe a half tone bend. Then we go pull off from 10 on the D to 8, hit 10 on the A string. Then we hammer on, we kind of go back up, so we go 8 on the D, and then hammer on to 10 on the D. So, and then we take a finger off, pluck the string and immediately hammer on again. So pluck 8 and immediately hammer on. And then we slide up and down. So pluck it and hammer on. Hit the 10th fret of the D string and then slide it up to the 11th. Slide it back down to the 10th. Pull off to 8 and then hammer back onto 10. Okay. And add some vibrato where you can. Okay, so that whole thing so far is okay, next is a great thing, but it's super tricky to nail. So it starts on the 8th fret of the B string, slides up to the 10 on the B, hits the top E at the 8th fret. Then the next note is the 8th fret on the B string again, and it hammers on, pulls off from 8 to 10 to 8. Then down to 10 on the G string, 8 on the B string, then again moving to the parallel string, same fret, 8th fret of the G string, and slides down from the 8th fret to the 7th fret. Then picking comes in on the 10th fret of the D, and then pulls off to the 7th fret of the D. Okay, then it goes hit 10 G, do 8 hammering on to 10 G, and then pulling off to 8 again, and slide down to 7 on the G. So that whole thing, 10, 8, 10, 8, 7, then we go 10D, 8D, 10A, then we move here to 7D, and then 8 on the A string twice, and then slide down 2 frets, and then do this bend here at the 6th fret on the A. Okay, that whole thing. Okay, next is a kind of reprise of the opening line. Okay, so we'll whack on to the 11th fret of the B string, an 8th fret on the G, 10th fret of the D, and then pull off to 7th fret of the D. So, or you could also slide, whatever you want to do, as long as you get there quick enough. The next phrase is very similar to the previous phrase, but it has 3 hits on the second note. So we've already played, now we're going to play. Okay, so that's 11 on the B, and then 3 of these on the 8 at G, 10D, pull off to 8D, hit hammer onto 10A, and then we go 8 on the D string, hammer onto 10 on the D string, and it's part of this phrase. So we're going 8 to 10, hammer on, slide up 2 frets to 12 on the D, grab 10 on the G string, and then head back down 12 on the D string, slide down to 10, and then pull off to 8. So we've got, then we go back here to 10 on the D string, then we go 10 on the A string, and then, so it's 2, on 8 on the D string with a little bend, and then pull off 10 to 8 on the A string, and then land on the 10 on the bottom 8. So we've got the next bit is one of my favourite bits. It's a mixture of a D7 triad and some diminished stuff. Check it out. It starts here on 9A, slides down to 8A, then it grabs the D string at the 7th fret, hammer on to 10 on the D, so, and then we end there on the 8th of the G string. So that's the first bit. Then we're going here, 10G, sliding up to 11G, 10B, 8E, and then 11 on top E. So we've got, then we're pulling off back to 8 on the E, back to 10 on the B, and back to 11 on the G. Okay, so we got to 11 on the G, then we're pulling off to 8 on the G, and then we're hitting 10 on the D. Okay, then we've got this rippling effect, which is so awesome. We're basically doing a series of pull-offs, okay? We're doing 11G, pulling off to 8G, 10D, pulling off to 7D. So, then we're doing 8G to 10D, pulling off to 7D, hammering on to 9A. Next up is this 10D, pulling off to 8D, hammering on to 10A. Play that, and then we play that again. 10D, pulling off to 8D, then we hit 10 on the A, 9 on the A, 7 on the A, 11 on the D, sorry, 11 on the bottom E, and then the root note on the 8th fret of the bottom E. And then we're back up here, 10 on the D, pulling off to 8, hammering on to 10 on the A. Then we're back here on the 8 on the D string with a bit of a curl, a little slight bend, and then 10 on the A, pulling off to 8, hammering back on to 10 A. So very slowly, that whole thing from the 9th fret, doing that diminished ascending thing that's tagged onto this D7 arpeggio. We're going, let's do it a bit better than that. Okay, we made it this far, well done. And we're into the next 12 bars, which starts pretty much where we left off before. We ended up on the 10th fret of the A string, and now we are sliding into a note on the 12th fret of the A string, and then hitting 10 on the D, 12 on the D, 10 on the D, then back to 12 on the A, and then we're 13 on the D string with a quarter tone bend. Then we hit 10 on the D, then we slide back down here to 8 on the D string, 10 on the A, quarter tone bend on the 8 of the G, then pulling off 10D to 8A, 10D to 8D, and hammer onto 10 on the A string. And it's kind of like Matt does an upwards rake. Okay, when we've got that. After we end up on 10 on the A string, we're back to 8 on the D. But a kind of little staccato. Now, here we go for the big bit. 10, pulling off to 8 on the D. 10 on the A string. Then 8, 9, 8, sliding down to 6. Then 8 on the A. 8 on the E. And then 6 to 7 on the A. So, we've done. Then we're here. 5. 5G. Pulling off 7 to 5 on the D. Then we're up doing a quarter tone bend on G. Then followed by 6B, 8G, and then 7 and 8 on the B string. And then top E at the 6th fret. Okay, so let me play that slowly. Then again, one of my favourite bits doesn't come in on the 1. It goes 1. Some beautiful little phrasing there. Okay, 8E, hammering on to 11E, pulling off to 8E. Then 11 on the B. 8E, 8B, 11B, 10G, 8 on the B string, 8 on the G string, 10 on the G string, 10 on the D string, 8 on the G string, 10 on the D string, 8 on the D string, and then finally 7 on the D string. So that's a lot. That's pretty tricky. Okay, but no time to breathe. Immediately we're here on the 10th fret. Okay, and then that's what we're going to do. So we started on the 10th fret. Sorry, 10th fret G. So we've gone doodle 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 doodle. 10th fret of the G, 8th fret of the B, 10th fret of G, then 9 up to 10, hammer on or slide, 9, 10 on the B string, 8 on E, and then 8, 10 on the B string, 10 on G, 8 on the G on the B string again, then parallel strings again, 8, slide down to 7 on the G, and then 10 pulling off to 7 on the D string. Okay, then it's the only double notes in this. That's 10 on the G and the B string. Then we're doing 8, hammering onto 9, 10 on the D string, 10 on the A string, 8, 10, 8, slide down to 7 on the A string, and then we head up. And let's kind of just review that. Okay, now we're heading up from 7, this is major pentatonic stuff, 7, 10 on A, 7, 10 D, and then 7, 8, 9 on G, 8 on the B, 10 with a half tone bend on the B string, and then 11, 10, 8 on the B string, slide down to 7, and then 10 on the B string, back to 8 on the B string, 11 on the G string, back up to 8 on the B string, and then we've got these 2 slides, 11 on G sliding down to 10, from the G string, from 10 on G to 8, and then 10 to 8 on the D string. Then this great little lick. Okay, so that is 11 on B, 10 on the B, 9 on the B, 8 on the B, 11 on the G, 10 on the G, 8 on the G, then we're pulling off from 10 on the D string to 8. Okay, and this is where we end up exactly in time for this chord, the 5 chord. We're landing on the root of the 5 chord. Okay, last 4 bars. We've landed on the 10th fret of the A string, coinciding with the playing of our 5 chord. So 10, A, 8, hammering onto 9 on the D, and then while that 9 still rings, we hit 8 on the B string. Then we quickly pop 10 on the B. That's where we're doing. And then I guess after popping that 10, I'm kind of putting my finger on at 10 on the G string, but not playing it until I am sliding. So kind of moving first and then picking. But I ended up down here on 7 on the G, pulling off to 5, G, 7 on D, pulling off to 5 on the D. So then we're at 8 on the G, quarter tone bend, 6 on the B, 8 on the G, 6 on the B, 8 on the B, and then 6, 8, 6 on the B, 8 on the G, 6 on the B, and then we're pulling off 8 to 5 on G, 7 on the D, 8, pulling off to 7 again on G. So and then the last phrase. Wait, this last phrase isn't actually what Matt plays in this solo. I've picked one of his phrases from deeper in the solo to tie off the end of this 24 bar solo. What he actually plays is a kind of ascending run that leads forward into the next 24 bars or whatever. So it was weird to have something ascending going up into moving forward at the end of the solo. So I've just added one of his phrases from deeper in the solo in this point. So it's not 100% correct at this point, but it ties off this 24 bar solo really nicely. That's kind of like Day Tripper, okay? We've got 5 on the G, another hit of the 5 on the G, 7 sliding up to 9 on the G, 8 on the B, 8 on the E, bending up a quarter tone on 11 on the B, and then we're going 8, E, 11 B, 8 10 8 on top E, 11 B, 8 top E, 11 again on the B string, and then 8 11 8 7 8 8 8 11 8, slide down 7, back up to 8, and then a little bend on the 11 again, 8 on G, 8 on the B, 11 on the G, and 8 on the B string. That's our last note. So let me play each bit slowly. It's been a long slog, so thanks for staying with me. Let's do it from the top. I'll do it pretty slowly. 1, 2, 3. So there you have it, 24 bars of what is a 72 bar genius masterpiece of playing. Matt, thank you for just coming up with that stuff. It just, freaks me out, makes me feel tiny and insignificant in the musical landscape. But you guys, if you've stuck with me through this full 33-minute lesson, thank you for sticking with me. I hope you enjoyed it. It's been a big part of my life learning that solo. When I first heard it, I was like, I gotta learn some of that because it's just killer licks all the way through it. If you've learnt 24 bars of it, it's worth it. Stick with it. It's slow, it's hard, it takes time, but do it often enough and it becomes second nature. So thank you very much for your time. It's been a long one this time, but I hope you get some great value and you get to supercharge your chops with some of Matt Schofield's monster licks. Monster. Anyways, this is Phil from 15 Minute Guitar Practice saying See you in the next one. Bye for now.